picking up?
No, the webcam isn't working.
Oh.
Hi, John. Good. How are you?
All right, we're going to go live very shortly.
Yeah, just give me the signal.
We're live.
I said they'll survive.
Through you, Your Worship, we're live.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll call the meeting to order, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we're meeting in a physically distant manner at Highline Hall in Wellington. Members of the public who wish to speak at a planning committee meeting must register with the clerk's office in advance. Tonight's agenda lists all the items before committee for consideration. Copies of the agenda have been posted on our website. The recommended motions on tonight's agenda are shown in bold. Tonight's meeting is being live streamed, and any participation in the meeting proceedings will become part of the public record. The recording from the meeting will be published on the county's website immediately and can be viewed by selecting the live stream tab on the bottom right of the county's homepage at thecounty.ca. Personal information collected as a result of this public meeting is collected under the authority of the Planning Act and will be used to assist in making decisions in these matters. A consent agenda will be utilized for this meeting. If a member of council, applicant, agent, or member of the public has a question or concern regarding an item that is included in the agenda, they may have an item pulled from the consent agenda. If an item is pulled from the consent agenda, it shall be discussed individually and voted on as appropriate. If there are no objections to an item on the consent agenda, I will call for a motion to approve by unanimous consent the items listed. The minutes from this meeting shall report matters approved as part of the consent agenda. It's my understanding from the manager of planning that all necessary internal departments and external agencies, such as advisory committees, have been consulted for each of the decision items before us this evening. Under section 4, the recommendation is typically to approve with conditions or to deny a planning application. Council has a final say in the applications from the county's perspective. Following council's decision, notice will be circulated in accordance with the Planning Act. If a person or public body would otherwise have an ability to appeal a decision of council to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal, or LPAT, but the person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the municipal clerk before the bylaw is passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal a decision. Bylaws listed on this agenda provide the force of law to previous decisions of council. So we'll now move to confirmation of the agenda, and as I understand it, Mr. Clerk, there's a slight adjustment.
Yes, so item number 5, confirmatory bylaw, will actually be item number 7. Will take place with the 7, so number 6 will move up to number 5, 7 will move to 6, and the confirmatory bylaw will be number 7.
Okay, thanks. So we're just rearranging the numbers.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so if we could have a motion to confirm the agenda as amended. Councillor Prinzen, seconded by Councillor Hirsch.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a Prinzen Hirsch motion that the agenda for the planning committee meeting of the amended agenda for the planning committee meeting of October 20th, 2021 be confirmed.
Thank you. All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you. So we will move to item 3, disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof. Does anybody have anything? Councillor Nyman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm declaring on item 4.1 as that affects our son and daughter-in-law.
Okay. All right, thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none. Okay, I have a list of people that may be joining us. There appears to be one per item here. So we will move to item 4 on the agenda, specifically item 4.
Through you, Your Worship, I'm just letting everyone in right now to the
The
chat, yeah.
the guests?
Yeah, the guests.
Okay.
You're on.
Through your worship, since Councillor Nyman declared a pecuniary interest for item 4.1, may we do that one first while he's away, and then bring him in afterwards?
For item 4.1?
Yes.
Well, that's where we're going to start anyway.
Yes,
Okay.
So,
then we'll give him time to come back for 4.2.
yeah, so Councillor Nyman has to excuse himself, okay. So I will ask if there are any members of council, staff, applicants, agents, or the public that want to ask question, discuss, or oppose this item on the agenda. I see any comments? I see none.
What item are we dealing with?
4.1. So I don't see any.
Bill and
On the very
Tyler.
bottom,
Bill and Tyler?
they're on you, so I would assume that'd be them.
Is there anybody that wants to speak to this item?
Hello, Bill and Tyler, are you there? William and Tyler Kimball?
Do we need to put it on the?
Bill and Tyler, are you there? Can you hear us?
We should maybe send them maybe try and message
Do you
them.
have other means of communication?
Steve, do we have to put it on the table?
Yes, we can, they said, on the side. Tell them they're on you.
Bill and Tyler. All right, I'm not seeing anything, Mr. Clerk.
They're
talking
call-
on the side there, Mr. Mayor. In the chat box with the clerk right now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It must be confusing for people.
Okay, is that you, Bill and Tyler?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is. We're trying to,
We're trying to, we can't hear you very well and we can't see you. Hello?
I think we have problems with the camera. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
there.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Now we
there
can
you go.
see you.
I thought it was us that had the problem.
No, it's
Okay,
not again.
I brought forward item 4.1 in the agenda, and I have asked if there are any members of council, staff, applicants, or agents, or the public that want to ask a question, discuss, or oppose this item on the agenda. So I'm putting that question
And
out
yes-
there.
So yes, we would like a discussion for 4.1.
Okay, then we will pull that, and we will come back to it.
Okay?
So
Thank
we'll
you.
move to item 4.2.
Steve, we're going to leave Brad out there.
We go
Yep.
with this.
Counselor, Mr. Clerk, Counselor Nyman can come back. And he'll have to leave again when we, okay.
You can come back, you got pulled, then you'll have to leave again.
I'm glad this is so much more efficient.
Counselor Nyman, you declared a pecuniary interest in this. The item has been pulled for further discussion. When we come back to it, you will have to leave the meeting because of your declaration. So I'm going to move to 4.2 concerning the Fry Road application, and I'll ask again if there are any members of council, staff, applicants, agents, or the public who want to ask a question, discuss, or oppose this item on the agenda? I see nobody. So we will add that to the consent agenda, please, Mr. Clerk, and we'll move on to item 4.3. So 4.3, same question. This is concerning 3271 County Road 8. And if there are any members of council, staff, applicants, agents, or the public that want to ask questions, discuss, or oppose this item on the agenda. Poll council first.
On the phone, but not there.
We've got this,
Who's speaking?
we could have.
Is there anybody that has a question or issue with this item on the agenda? Okay. Seeing none, so we'll add that as well, please, Mr. Clerk. 4.4 concerning 230 County Road 7. And are there any members of council, staff, applicants, agents, or the public that want to ask a question, discuss, or oppose this item? Anybody? Nope. Okay. So we'll move to 4.5. 165 Schoolhouse Road. And are there any members of council, staff, applicants, agents, or the public who want to ask a question, discuss, or oppose this item on the agenda?
Bill Rohr back here, agent for the file, and we're satisfied with the conditions.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Clerk, we'll add that one as well and move to 4.6 concerning 223 Crows Road. And are there any members of council, staff, applicants, agents, or the public that want to ask a question, discuss, or oppose this item on the agenda?
Hi there, it's Colin Hendon acting for the agent, and we agree with all the conditions, severance conditions as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we'll add that as well, Mr. Clerk. So we've got all the items with the exception of
4.7, the delegated authority.
Sorry?
4.7, the delegated authority.
Sorry. Okay, I will ask the same question concerning this. This is not on my agenda, by the way. Are there any questions, concerns about this item on the agenda? Seeing none? Okay, so everything with the exception of 4.1. Now,
We need a motion to pass the consent agenda.
I'm sorry?
We require a motion to pass the consent agenda.
Yeah, if we could have a mover and a seconder, please, for that. Councillor Prinzen, seconded by Councillor St. Jean.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a Prince St. Jean motion that the items 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, and 4.7 of tonight's agenda passed by unanimous consent.
Thank you. All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you. So we'll go back to item 4.1. We need a mover and a seconder to put this on the floor. Councillor Roberts, I think you wanted to start with this, and we need a seconder. We'll just wait for Councillor Nyman to depart. We need a seconder. Councillor McMahon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a Roberts-McMahon motion that report DS 214-2021 of Development Services dated October 20, 2021 regarding consent files number B63-21 and B64-21 and zoning bylaw amendment file number Z55-21 be received. 2, that consent files numbers B63-21 and B64-21 for lands described as part lots 1, 2, 3, 4, concession 1, west of Greenpoint, Sophiasburgh, Part 1 to 47R7 608 S/T PE 170437 in the ward of Sophiasburgh be denied, and that zoning file number Z55-21 for lands described as part lots 1, 2, 3, 4, concession 1 west of Greenpoint Road, Sophiasburgh, Part 1 to 47R 7608 ST PE 170473 in the ward of Sophiasburgh be denied.
Okay.
And following, Mr. Mayor, and following the applicant's remarks, I may have a question for staff myself.
Okay, that's fine. We'll, we've got staff members. Perhaps you could provide a briefing about this, and then we'll open the floor to others.
Mayor, members of council, I have a few additional comments in regards to the recommendation of this report. So, just can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So, in regards to the report, through the technical circulation process, we circulated the Mohawks to the Bay of Quinte. They had recommended the completion of a stage 1 and 2 archaeological assessment. That was not provided with the application. However, the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte have since revised their comments, so they are no longer requesting completion of a stage 1 and 2 archaeological assessment. However, in order to be compliant with the Ministry of Sport, Tourism, and Culture, a stage 1 and 2 archaeological assessment should be completed because the property is located within 300 meters of a water body. So in order to comply with those guidelines, the archaeological assessment still should be completed. Now, as I've outlined throughout the report, subject lands have benefited from numerous consents since 1998. The original land holding was divided into 3 new lots, plus a retained lot through consent files B13, B14, and B15-03. This can be seen in attachment 6. The subject lands were then further subdivided through B9-14 and later through B4-17. Those can also be seen in attachment 7. The 2017 consent was approved by council with a note to the decision which read, "No further severances will be granted from the severed or retained parcels except as in conformity with official plan policies as amended." The original land holding as it existed in 1998 has exceeded the consent policies of the official plan. Part 5, section 1.3.1b of the 2006 official plan states that in order to avoid creating a subdivision by the consent process, the county will not allow a land holding to be fragmented over time. In this respect, except as may be permitted by Part 5, section 1.1.3, a maximum of 3 lots, including a retained lot, may be created by consent from any land holding. A land holding is defined as any property that existed as of January 23rd, 1998. This policy is not unique to only the county's official plan, but it is featured in many other official plans that have been adopted by other municipalities as well. The intent of this policy is to ensure the orderly and coordinated development of the subject lands and to ensure the efficient division and use of the lands. The applicants should have proceeded with the plan of subdivision if they had wished to further divide the subject lands. The application as presented does not conform to the policies of the official plan, and therefore the application should be denied.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other comments from staff? Okay. Then I will ask if the applicant or the applicant's agent has any comments concerning this.
Yes, we do. The reason for the severance is to give several severed parcels to our daughters so they can build a house on the property that they were raised on. The houses that will be built on the property are close to the road and not near the water at all. The archaeological study, we know that the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte rescinded that. Our daughters would like to live and work in Prince Edward County. That's the gist of it. Our oldest daughter is...
Their daughters are right here.
Yeah, our daughters are here with us, actually, the 2 daughters that we want the severances for.
And no trees would be cut.
And no trees would be cut down on the property.
Okay,
They're just building lots for homes. They want to live on the property. I
okay.
guess that's all.
Does that conclude your comments?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
Oh, just a minute. Steffi has a comment.
That the archaeological study was revoked. We have that in an email.
They know that.
They know that?
They've already brought that up. No, they've already addressed that. So I guess that's all that we have to say.
okay, thank you very much.
We're not trying to,
Yeah, we're not severing lots to sell them or make money. We want them for our children.
And it's been in our family for 120 years.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Clerk, we don't have anybody in the listed who wants to speak to this item?
Through you, your worship, no members of the public.
Okay, so I will open up to questions from council. Councillor Roberts?
Thank you, Mayor Ferguson. My question is to staff, and I acknowledge the predicament here and your staff's concern for what the report calls unorderly development. Plus the fact I acknowledge that in 2017, staff had recommended against another Kimball severance, but council in 2017 decided to proceed and approve that severance. And you did quote from the condition regarding no further severances permitted following 2017 that weren't consistent with the official plan. But I also understand that the Ontario Land Tribunal stipulates that an application should be heard 90 days after it's filed at Shire Hall. And this application was filed on April 1st of 2021. So that would have meant, if we were following the OLT guidelines, a decision no later than June 30th, which would have been well inside the transition time frame from our old OP to the current OP, with that deadline being, I think it was something around July 6th or 10th, something like that. So still arguably time to shift gears and in a rush apply for a plan of subdivision under the old OP if this process at 90 days had been fulfilled. So given that this was in queue, and this is the question for staff, given that this was in queue since April 1st, and this is now October 20th, and given that old adage about justice delayed is justice denied, might there be some flexibility or opportunity for flexibility from staff's point of view, permitting the Kimballs to reapply on a retroactive basis for a proper plan of subdivision? That's my question to staff.
Okay, who would like to answer that? Dale?
Through the mayor, unfortunately, under the Planning Act, we have to review on the policies of the plan that is in effect today. So on July 8th, of the approval of the new official plan, we have to review all new applications submitted after July 8th on the policies of the 2021 official plan. I have noted to the Kimballs and that multiple times that we were going to be recommending denial on the application on the basis of the 2017 severance and the policies of the official plan. So they were well aware of the recommendation that has been brought forward tonight.
Okay, thank you.
But those severed properties had nothing to do with us, and we didn't own that land. Excuse me. This is our property, and those other severances were nothing to do with us.
Okay, Mr. Egan, do you want to respond to that from the perspective of legislation?
Through the mayor, the policies apply to a land holding as it existed in 1998. To date, I can count 4 severances that have created on the land holding as it existed in 1998, therefore exceeding the policies of the official plan and the land development policies of the official plan.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other members of council who have questions concerning this matter? No? Okay, then I will call the vote. All those in favor? 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed?
The Zoom, we have.
I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, let's take that count again, please. All those in favor of this application, please.
The recommendation, you mean?
Mr. Clerk, can you take
So
a
we
count?
have Councillor Harper on the screen, Councillor McNaughton have their hands up. And then I count 5 in Highline Hall. So 7.
7?
Yeah, there's 7. There's
Okay.
2 missing or regrets, so that passes.
Okay, so we're, so that carries.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
What does that mean?
Mr. Clerk?
What does it?
It means the application is, the recommendation of staff is passed.
Thank you.
Okay,
That means,
so we will now move to,
Should just said it's denied, just tell them it's denied.
okay, so Mr. Clerk, we are moving to,
So now we are on we are now on item 7, bylaws for consideration.
okay, if we could have a mover and a seconder for this, please. Councillor Margetson, seconded by Councillor St. Jean.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The following bylaws are recommended for adoption and be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Bylaw 6.1.1, a bylaw to amend the County of Prince Edward Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 1816-2006 as amended, 119-82303 Canada, Inc. 6.1.2, a bylaw to amend the County of Prince Edward Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 1816-2006 as amended, Van Bastelaar. 6.1.3, a bylaw to amend the County of Prince Edward Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 1816-2006 as amended, Cooper and Burgess. 6.1.4, a bylaw to amend the County of Prince Edward Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 1816-2006 as amended, the PPSC2 Company. 6.1.5, a bylaw to amend the County of Prince Edward Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 1816-2006 as amended, 223 Crows Road. And 6.1.6, a bylaw to amend the County of Prince Edward Comprehensive Zoning Bylaw 1816-2006 as amended, McLean and Martok.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor? And that carries. So we'll move to item 8, motion to adjourn.
Confirmatory bylaw.
I'm sorry. You're right. Mover and a seconder for the confirmatory bylaw, Councillor Prinzen, seconded by Councillor McMahon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a Prince and McMahon motion that the following bylaw be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. A bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the County of Prince Edward at the meeting held on October 20th, 2021.
Thank you. All those in favor? And that carries. And finally, a motion to adjourn, please. Councillor St. Jean and Councillor Maynard.
Thank you, Your Worship. St. Jean Maynard motion that this meeting now adjourn at 7:28 p.m.
All those in favor? And that carries. Thank you. We're adjourned. If you could let us know.